going on, guys? Welcome to Victims and Villains. If you guys are new to our content, we create content like what you're watching right now simply to educate and engage individuals like yourselves on mental health awareness and suicide prevention through pop culture. My name's Captain Nostalgia. I am a podcaster, writer, and the director of our film festival titled Horrific Hope. If you guys would like more information on our film festival, submit your shorts, features, and screenplays. Links are going to be in the show notes below, along with more podcasts, the movie reviews we do like this one, social media links, how to support us financially, and most importantly, our mental health resource library. All of that stuff is going to be in the show notes below. I'm back with another official selection conversation on from Fantasia Fest 2022, and this film is called Punta Sinistra. Really bad, so if I mispronounce that, my apologies. It tells the story of a journalist slash treasure hunter who is essentially trying to hunt down a fabled old treasure. I'm just going to say this up front. This is a poor man's version of National Treasure, which we've also done episodes on. So check the links in the descriptions below to check out our National Treasure episode if you guys are in the mood for fun movies like that. And before I even get into talking about this movie, let me just say that bad movies made purposely bad are a true art form. You look at movies like The Room, Toxic Avenger, like trauma movies and full moon movies. These movies that are made to kind of be cheesy and made to please that B-movie audience that is coming for the grindhouse and just that nostalgic drive-in feel. Those types of movies are a lost art, and I want to put emphasis on art because when they're done well, they're a lot of fun. They might not be everyone's cup of tea, but they are immensely fun. All of that to say that this movie fails on literally every single level. When I tell you that everything that makes a movie functional, this movie fails at, that would be me being nice to this movie. First of all, the acting, the writing of this movie is incredibly just really lackluster on every ways. It just seems like everyone is delivering their lines with a monotone delivery. This movie lacks emotion in just about every facet imaginable, which is just wild to me to consider because this is a movie about treasure hunting and essentially pirates and myths and legends and ghost stories, and this movie just does not seem to be enthralled with those things, and if the movie's not enthralled, then your audience is not going to be enthralled. And the writing in this movie is just so bad. Like I don't know how any other way to say it is it's repugnant on a multitude of levels. The last 5 minutes of this movie is a recap of the entire movie, and this movie is 62 minutes long. That's it. 62 freaking minutes long. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they wrote this movie to say, okay, we're only gonna do 62 minutes. And pacing of this movie might literally be the only strong suit it has, because this movie never rushes, it never drags, but it is constantly just like sinking your teeth into concrete to find enjoyment with this movie. And I don't know if it's necessarily just the copy of the screener copy that I got in order to review this movie, but this movie, the ADR work on this, and if you don't know what ADR is, it is basically when an actor or an actress is shooting the actual movie and there are moments where, say, the microphone didn't pick up what they were saying. They would go back in post-production and go through a thing called ADR. I don't know what it stands for. Basically, you get behind a booth the same way a voice actor brings cartoons to life, and you dub over your entire performance to make the sound clear and line up. The movie just lacks that so much, and the fact that the ADR in this movie and the audio issues are as bad as they are, it's incredibly distracting. It kind of feels like they tried to make this movie originally in Spanish, and then they're like, you know what, we might hit a wider audience if we put it in English, and they just didn't do anything. And maybe that's where some of the lack of emotion comes from, because I know that I've seen some bad dubs before, but man, this movie might take the cake. It's never exciting. Like, once this movie, it delves into so much cool things, so many cool ideas. It's never an ounce of excitement. It's almost as if like Ben Stein wrote this movie and was monologuing it in that Bueller, iconic Bueller monologue that he does from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, man, I don't even know what else to say about this movie. Like, the visual effects in this movie suck. The movie fails on literally every imaginable way. And it really pains me to say this, because as someone that has talked to a lot of filmmakers, is friends with a lot of filmmakers, I hate giving out scores and doing reviews like this. But if you can't hit the bare basics of what makes a movie, then I gotta be honest. And so this one on this Rorschach rating scale, I'm gonna give this one a 0 out of 5. And I hold that 0 ranking for those truly worthy of it. And this movie is probably going to amount to be my worst film of 2022, and I would probably bet on that. It's so bad that for the mess of this movie, I don't even have a mental health moment. Like, this movie is just for your mental health. Don't watch this movie. And if you're struggling with suicide, addiction, self-harm, depression, please consider our resource library in the show notes below. And make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button, because we'll be back talking about more films from Fantasia Fest. Have a good day.